Commander Ethan Wright rubbed his tired eyes as he watched the video again. The recording showed the day that changed everything for humanity. 5 years ago, the Kelvary ships had appeared in Earth's sky. They came with friendly messages and promises of sharing advanced technology. Ethan paused the video on the image of the Kelvary ambassador. The alien had blue skin that seemed to shimmer in the light. Its 4 arms were held open in what humans thought was a peaceful greeting. How wrong they had been. "Still studying the old footage?" asked a voice from the doorway. Ethan looked up to see Dr. Olivia Martinez standing there. She wore her usual lab coat, her dark hair pulled back in a simple ponytail. "I keep thinking we missed something," Ethan said. "Some sign that they were going to attack." Olivia walked in and sat across from him. "They fooled everyone, Ethan. They were planning it from the start." The attack had come 3 months after first contact. The Kelvary had gained access to Earth's defense systems through what they called technology sharing. Then, without warning, they turned those systems against humanity and launched their own weapons. Millions died in the first day. Cities like New York, London, and Tokyo were hit the hardest. The world's governments, once divided by old conflicts, united overnight against the alien threat. "We were lucky," Ethan said, standing up to look out the window at the rebuilt city below. "If you hadn't figured out how to use their own technology against them." Olivia shook her head. "It wasn't just me. It was everyone working together. Scientists, soldiers, regular people fighting back with whatever they had." The war had lasted 6 months. Humanity fought with a determination that surprised the Kelvary. They had expected an easy victory over what they considered a primitive species. Instead, they faced a unified planet that refused to surrender. In the end, the Kelvary retreated. Their final message was simple: "We will return with greater forces. Your world sits on valuable space that belongs to the greater galactic community. Prepare to be removed." Ethan turned away from the window. "And we've been preparing ever since." The underground facility they stood in was proof of that preparation. 5 years of reverse engineering alien tech and combining it with human innovation had created weapons the Kelvary would never expect. "Commander Wright," called a young officer from the doorway. "The long-range sensors are picking up something. Multiple objects entering the solar system." Ethan and Olivia exchanged a look. They had known this day would come. "How many ships?" Ethan asked. "At least 50, sir. And they're not just Kelvary designs. There appear to be vessels from other alien species as well." Olivia's eyes widened. "They brought allies." Ethan nodded grimly. "Inform Admiral Carter. Activate Defense Protocol Alpha. And get me a direct line to the United Earth Council." As the officer rushed away, Ethan turned back to Olivia. "Is the HADES system ready?" "Yes," she replied. "All platforms are in position and cloaked. The Kelvary won't see them until it's too late." Ethan looked at the frozen image of the Kelvary ambassador one last time before shutting off the screen. "They thought we were primitive," he said quietly. "They thought we would be easy to conquer. They were wrong 5 years ago, and they're even more wrong now." Olivia placed a hand on his shoulder. "The difference is, this time, we're ready for them." Outside, hidden in Earth's orbit, hundreds of weapons platforms waited silently. On the ground, soldiers prepared advanced fighters and tanks. In secret bases around the world, special forces with enhanced abilities stood ready. The Kelvary were coming back to finish what they started. But this time, humanity wasn't just fighting for survival. This time, they were fighting to send a message to the entire galaxy. Earth is not to be threatened. Humanity is armed and ready. Captain Daniel Foster walked slowly through the massive underground facility. The sound of machines and voices echoed off the walls. 5 years ago, this place had been a nuclear missile silo. Now it was called the Forge, the biggest weapons factory on Earth. "Captain, wait up," called a voice behind him. Daniel turned to see Lieutenant Samantha Bell jogging to catch up with him. Her short blonde hair bounced with each step. The tour group is ready, sir, she said, standing straight. Representatives from all 7 defense zones are waiting to see our progress. Daniel nodded. Good. They need to see what we've built. The aliens are coming, and everyone needs to understand what we're up against. They walked together through a set of heavy doors. Inside, a group of 20 men and women in military uniforms from around the world waited. They looked nervous. Ladies and gentlemen, Daniel began, welcome to the Forge. What you're about to see is classified at the highest level. He led them to a railing where they could look down at the main production floor. Below them, hundreds of workers assembled strange-looking weapons and vehicles. After the Kelveri attack 5 years ago, we recovered pieces of their technology, Daniel explained. Dr. Martins and her team figured out how they worked. Then we made them better. He pointed to a sleek black aircraft being assembled. This is a Wraith fighter. It uses the Kelveri's own stealth technology against them, but we've improved it. When activated, it becomes completely invisible to all known alien scanning methods. The visitors murmured, clearly impressed. And that's not all. Samantha added, show them the HFY platforms, sir. Daniel led the group to another section. Through a large window, they could see massive satellite-like structures being built. These are the heart of our defense system, Daniel said. HFY platforms. They'll be positioned in orbit around Earth. Each one carries weapons that can tear apart alien ships at the molecular level. We developed them by studying how Kelveri engines work. A woman in a Chinese military uniform raised her hand. How many of these platforms do we have? 300, Daniel answered, all hidden with advanced cloaking technology. The aliens won't see them until they're activated. The group looked stunned. There's more, Samantha said, checking her tablet. Sir, you're needed in the command center. Our deep space probes have detected something. Daniel quickly excused himself and hurried with Samantha to a secure elevator. They descended deeper into the Earth. The command center was busy with activity when they arrived. Screens showed images of space and readings from various sensors. What do we have? Daniel asked the technician at the main console. The probes near Jupiter picked up multiple ships entering our solar system, the technician explained. But they're not just Kelveri designs. We've identified ships from at least 5 other alien species. Daniel felt his stomach tighten. They brought allies. It gets worse, sir, Samantha said, looking at another screen. Based on their speed and trajectory, they'll reach Earth in 3 days. Daniel took a deep breath. 5 years of preparation would now be put to the test. Alert Admiral Carter and Commander Wright, he ordered. Begin moving all civilians to the underground shelters and launch the HFY platforms immediately. We need them in position before the aliens arrive. As the command center burst into action, Daniel stared at the screen showing the approaching alien fleet. The Kelveri had called them primitive last time. They had laughed at human weapons and technology. They won't be laughing this time, he said quietly. Samantha nodded beside him. No, sir. This time, we're ready for them. Outside, transport ships began moving the massive HFY platforms to their launch sites. Around the world, Wraith fighters were prepared for battle. Special Forces soldiers with enhanced abilities moved to their assigned positions. Humanity had spent 5 years preparing for this moment. Now it was time to show the galaxy exactly what the primitive humans could do when threatened. Admiral Elijah Carter stood tall in front of the United Earth Council. The large room was filled with leaders from every nation. 5 years ago, these countries had been fighting each other. Now they work together against a common enemy. The alien fleet will reach Earth in 3 days, Admiral Carter said, his deep voice echoing in the chamber. Captain Foster has confirmed that there are ships from 6 different alien species. The Kelveri have gathered allies. Worried voices filled the room. Admiral Carter raised his hand for silence. We are prepared militarily, he continued. But I believe we should try one more approach. We should send a diplomatic mission to meet with other alien races, ones that are not allied with the Kelveri. The room grew quiet. "What do you mean?" asked the representative from Brazil. "There are other aliens out there who might help us." Admiral Carter nodded. "Our deep space probes have detected a space station about 2 light-years from our solar system. We believe it's called the Nexus. Many different alien species meet there. It's like a neutral ground." He pressed a button, and a hologram appeared showing a massive spinning structure in space. "I propose we send our fastest ship, the HFY Defiance, to the Nexus. We can present evidence of the Kelveri's unprovoked attack and try to find allies, or at least convince other species to stay neutral in this fight." After much discussion, the Council agreed. Within hours, the HFY Defiance was being prepared for launch. The ship was Earth's first true starship, built using a combination of human and alien technology. Ambassador Nicole Grant walked quickly through the Defiance's corridors. As a former hostage negotiator, she had a special talent for reading expressions and body language, even non-human ones. "Ambassador, welcome aboard," said the ship's captain as Nicole reached the bridge. "We're ready to depart." Nicole nodded. "How long until we reach the Nexus?" "With our new drive system, just under 36 hours. That gives you about 12 hours at the Nexus before the Kelveri reach Earth." Nicole felt the weight of responsibility on her shoulders. Billions of lives depended on her mission. The Defiance left Earth's orbit in a flash of blue light, traveling faster than any human ship before it. When they arrived at the Nexus, Nicole was amazed. The space station was enormous, with ships of all shapes and sizes docked around it. Inside, hundreds of alien species walked, crawled, or floated through vast hallways. "They're staring at us," whispered one of Nicole's team members. She was right. Many aliens were pointing at the humans and making strange sounds. An official-looking alien with green skin approached them. "You are from Earth?" it asked, using a translation device. "Your presence here is unexpected." Nicole stepped forward. "I am Ambassador Grant from Earth. We seek an audience with the Galactic Assembly. It's a matter of great urgency." The alien seemed nervous. "The Kelveri have already spoken to the Assembly about you. They say humans are dangerous and unpredictable." "The Kelveri attacked our planet without provocation," Nicole replied firmly. "We have proof. All we ask is a chance to show it." After tense negotiations, Nicole was allowed to address the Assembly, a gathering of representatives from dozens of species. She showed them videos of the Kelveri attack on Earth and explained how humans had been defending themselves. "Many species here fear the Kelveri," she told them, "but are too afraid to stand against them. We humans are not afraid. We fought them off once, and we will do it again." She activated a small device that showed holographic images of Earth's new defense systems, just enough to make potential enemies think twice. "Humanity seeks peace," Nicole declared, her voice strong. "But we are prepared for war. Any species that joins the Kelveri in attacking Earth will face the same consequences." As she finished speaking, a tall, insect-like alien approached her. "I am from the Vorax race," it clicked. "We too have suffered from Kelveri aggression. Perhaps we should talk more, privately." Nicole smiled. Her mission wasn't a failure after all. Back on Earth, Dr. Olivia Martinez worked alone in her lab. Dark circles under her eyes showed she hadn't slept in days. On her table lay pieces of Kelveri technology, including something new, a strange organic device that seemed partly alive. "Computer, run genetic scan again," she said, rubbing her tired eyes. The screen in front of her filled with data. Olivia leaned forward, suddenly alert. "That's impossible," she whispered. She grabbed her phone and called Commander Wright immediately. "Ethan, I found something you need to see. The Kelveri aren't what we thought." An hour later, Ethan stared at Olivia's findings in disbelief. "You're telling me the Kelveri were created by someone else?" he asked. Olivia nodded. "This biotechnology contains genetic markers. The Kelveri were modified by a species called the Orcs. Basically, Kelveri are living weapons designed to fight for the Archons in ancient wars. So there's an even more powerful enemy out there. Maybe, Olivia said, but the data suggests the Archons disappeared thousands of years ago. The Kelveri have been acting on their own since then. Ethan's phone buzzed with an urgent message. We need to send this information to Ambassador Grant at the Nexus. It could change everything. Across the galaxy at the Nexus space station, Nicole Grant sat in a private meeting room with representatives from 3 alien species: the insect-like Vorax, the crystalline Tholians, and the gaseous Muri who floated in special containers. The Kelveri have taken over 12 worlds in the last century. The Vorax representative clicked through its translator. Our home planet was one of the first. We were forced to relocate to our colony worlds. The Tholian's crystal body shimmered as it spoke. They claim territory based on strategic necessity. No one can stop them because they have too many allies. Nicole leaned forward. But why do these other species help the Kelveri? The Muri's container bubbled. Fear. The Kelveri have powerful weapons, and they share some technology with their allies as rewards. Nicole's communication device suddenly lit up with an incoming message from Earth. She excused herself to read it, and her eyes widened at Dr. Martinez's discovery. When she returned, Nicole shared the information about the Kelveri's origins. They were created as weapons by a species called the Archons. The 3 aliens looked at each other in surprise. The Archons are not just legend, the Vorax said. There are ruins of their civilization on many worlds. They were incredibly advanced, but disappeared long ago. The Tholian's crystal body glowed brighter. This information could be valuable. Many species would think differently about the Kelveri if they knew the truth. Nicole saw an opportunity. Will you help us spread this information? And perhaps share some technology to help us defend Earth? After hours of discussion, they reached an agreement. The 3 alien species would provide Earth with technical knowledge and intelligence about the Kelveri fleet. In return, Earth would share Dr. Martinez's findings about the Kelveri origins with the entire galaxy. Not out of love for humans, the Vorax clarified, but because we all have reasons to stop the Kelveri. Nicole smiled. The enemy of my enemy is my friend. As Nicole prepared to return to Earth with her new allies, Commander Wright was meeting with a secret group on Earth called the Shade Division. These were special human operatives who had been modified to look and sound like Kelveri. Your mission is to infiltrate their fleet, Ethan told them. Find their weaknesses and report back. One of the operatives stepped forward. Sir, there's something you should know. We've intercepted Kelveri communications. Their fleet is twice as large as we thought, and they've developed shields against our HADES weapons. Ethan's face grew grim. Then it's good we kept our most powerful weapons secret, even from our new allies. The countdown to invasion had begun. Earth had less than 24 hours left to prepare. Admiral Elijah Carter stood on the bridge of the orbital station Armstrong. Through the large viewing window, he could see Earth below, beautiful and blue. He had sworn to protect it, and today that promise would be tested. Admiral, the enemy fleet has passed Mars orbit, reported a young officer. 237 ships detected. Carter nodded calmly, though his heart raced. Are our allies in position? Yes, sir. The Vorax, Tholian, and Muri ships are holding position behind Jupiter, hidden from Kelveri sensors. It had been Ambassador Grant's idea to keep their new allies secret until the right moment. The element of surprise would be crucial. What about our own forces? Carter asked. Captain Foster has the main defense fleet ready. Lieutenant Bell's Wraith squadrons are cloaked and in position. The HADES network is online but still hidden. And Dr. Martinez is standing by with the Prometheus protocol. Carter took a deep breath. Humanity had prepared for this moment for 5 years. Now it was time. Open a channel to Captain Foster, he ordered. Daniel Foster's face appeared on the main screen. He sat in the command chair of the UES Defender, Earth's largest warship. "This is it, Daniel," Carter said. "Are you ready?" Foster nodded. "As ready as we'll ever be, Admiral. My ships will engage as soon as they enter Earth orbit. Remember the plan. Make them think our conventional ships are our only defense. Let them get overconfident." "Understood, sir." The communication ended, and Carter opened another channel to Lieutenant Samantha Bell, who commanded the Wraith fighters from a hidden base on the moon. "Lieutenant, your fighters remain cloaked until my signal," he instructed. "Yes, sir," Bell replied. "My pilots are ready." Hours passed as the alien fleet moved closer to Earth. Finally, they entered high orbit, their massive ships casting shadows on the planet below. "Incoming transmission from the Kelvary flagship," announced the communications officer. "Put it on screen," Carter ordered. The image of the Kelvary Supreme Commander appeared. Its blue skin glowed with patterns of light, and its 4 arms were crossed in a gesture of superiority. "Humans of Earth," the alien said through its translator. "5 years ago, we gave you a warning. Your planet sits on an important position in the galactic highway. You are too primitive to hold such valuable space. Surrender now, and we will relocate your species to a reserve planet. Resist, and you will be eliminated." Carter stood tall. "We received your warning. Now here's ours. Leave our solar system immediately, or face the consequences." The Kelvary commander laughed, a strange bubbling sound. "Your primitive weapons cannot harm our fleet. You barely defeated our small force last time. Now we have returned with allies and stronger ships. This is humanity's first and last warning," Carter said firmly. "We have prepared for this moment. Retreat now, or witness the full extent of human resolve." The Kelvary laughed again. "Your bravery is amusing but foolish. We will take your world." The transmission ended. Carter turned to his officers. "They've made their choice. Initiate Defense Plan Alpha." Captain Foster's voice came over the comm system. "Admiral, the first wave of Kelvary attack ships has launched. They're heading toward my fleet. Engage as planned, Captain. Make it look good." Foster's ships moved to meet the alien attackers. The Kelvary expected an easy victory against Earth's conventional forces. On the Armstrong station, Dr. Martinez watched the battle begin. "The enemy ships are crossing the threshold now," she reported. Admiral Carter nodded. "It's time. Activate the HADES network." Throughout Earth's orbit, hundreds of previously invisible platforms suddenly appeared, surrounding the alien fleet. "Send our message to every ship in their fleet," Carter ordered. His voice was broadcast across all frequencies to the stunned alien commanders. "You mistake our preference for peace as weakness. You mistake our diversity as division. You made a critical error. You gave humanity a reason to unite." The HADES platforms powered up, their weapons targeting the largest Kelvary ships. The real battle for Earth was about to begin. The Kelvary first wave crossed the invisible line that humans had designated as their final defense perimeter. In that moment, everything changed. The HADES platforms, previously hidden by advanced cloaking technology, suddenly appeared all around the alien fleet. Hundreds of orbital weapons stations surrounded the invaders like a net. "All HADES platforms, fire at will," Admiral Carter ordered. The space around Earth lit up with energy as the platforms unleashed their weapons. These weren't ordinary weapons. They distorted the very fabric of space-time, creating localized gravity wells that crushed alien ships from all sides. On the bridge of the Kelvary flagship, the Supreme Commander watched in horror as 27 of his best warships were torn apart in seconds. "Impossible," he shouted. "How did primitive humans develop such technology?" More surprises awaited the aliens. Lieutenant Samantha Bell gave the order, and her Wraith fighters decloaked, appearing seemingly out of nowhere. The small black ships moved with impossible speed, dodging enemy fire while deploying electromagnetic pulses that disabled entire squadrons of alien fighters. "Wraith Squadron, target their engines and weapons systems," Bell commanded. "Don't give them time to adapt." The alien fleet's communications filled with panic and confusion. They had expected an easy victory against primitive human defenses. Instead, they faced weapons they had never seen before. On the Armstrong station, Dr. Martinez activated the final part of Earth's defense plan. Prometheus Protocol activated, she announced. Across the battlefield, small wormholes suddenly opened inside the engine rooms of the largest Kelvary warships. Through these temporary gateways, specially designed mines appeared, detonating instantly. Explosions rippled through the enemy fleet as ship after ship lost power or exploded. The Kelvary Supreme Commander, his voice shaking, opened a channel to Admiral Carter. "How is this possible?" he demanded. "Your species was barely able to reach your own moon when we first found you. These weapons, this technology, it should be beyond your capabilities." Admiral Carter's face showed no emotion as he replied, "You gave us motivation. 5 years ago, you attacked without provocation. You killed millions of our people. You thought we would give up. But humans don't surrender when threatened. We innovate, we adapt, and we overcome." As the Kelvary fleet began to retreat, a new surprise appeared. From behind Jupiter, the ships of Earth's new allies, the Vorax, Tholians, and Muri, moved to block the escape routes. "You united the galaxy against you." Ambassador Grant's voice joined the transmission from the UES Defiance. "The species you've been bullying for centuries are standing together now." The battle didn't last much longer. With their most powerful ships destroyed and escape routes blocked, the remaining Kelvary vessels surrendered. For the first time in centuries, the Kelvary had been decisively defeated. 1 month later, representatives from 37 spacefaring civilizations gathered at Armstrong Station. The room was filled with beings of all shapes and sizes. Some walked on legs, others floated, some were made of crystal or gas. All had come to witness a historic moment. In the center of the room stood a group of Kelvary leaders, their once proud posture now humbled. They faced an interstellar tribunal, charged with crimes against sentient beings. Ambassador Nicole Grant, now appointed as Earth's first galactic representative, addressed the assembly. "The victory we celebrate today is not just humanity's," she began. "It belongs to all species who have suffered under Kelvary aggression. Today, we establish new rules for how civilizations should treat each other. The Soul Accords, as they came to be known, established new protocols for first contact between species. Most importantly, they recognized the sovereignty of developing civilizations and prohibited unprovoked aggression against any species. One clause, which many delegates called the human warning, specifically outlined the severe consequences for violations. The penalty would be enforced by a coalition of species, with Earth's forces taking the lead. After the signing ceremony, Commander Ethan Wright and Dr. Olivia Martinez stood at an observation window, watching the ships of various designs departing for their homeworlds. "I still can't believe how quickly everything changed," Olivia said. "A month ago, we were facing extinction. Now we're helping write rules for the entire galaxy." Ethan nodded. "The Kelvary thought they knew us. They studied our wars, our divisions, our primitive technology. What they didn't understand was our capacity to unite and adapt when threatened." "Do you think they understand us now?" Olivia asked. "I think the entire galaxy understands now," Ethan replied. "They know we're not just another species to be conquered. When threatened, humanity doesn't just fight back, we revolutionize warfare itself. And if someone else tries to test us," she asked, "then they'll learn the same lesson the Kelvary did." Ethan said, looking out at the stars, "Humanity prefers peace, but we're always ready for war. And we never fight the same war twice." On the other side of the station, Admiral Carter met with Captain Foster and Lieutenant Bell to discuss the future. "The United Earth Council has approved the expansion of our fleet," Carter told them. "We'll be building more ships with the new technology. Not for conquest, but to keep the peace." "What about the HADES network?" Foster asked. Most of it will be dismantled, Carter replied. But we'll keep enough to defend Earth. Trust, but verify. Lieutenant Bell looked at the stars through the window. Sir, do you think we'll face another threat like the Kelvari? Carter considered her question. The galaxy is vast, Lieutenant. There will always be threats. But now, they know what happens when you threaten Earth. Across the stars, the message spread quickly from world to world. The humans of Earth were not to be underestimated. They had defeated the Kelvari, who had dominated space for centuries. They had developed weapons that shouldn't have been possible for their level of development. And most importantly, they had issued their warning to the galaxy. Earth was now recognized as a major power, not because of the size of their territory or the age of their civilization, but because of what they had proven. When pushed to the edge, humans would unite, adapt, and fight back with unexpected strength and ingenuity. In the Great Library on the Nexus space station, a new entry was added to the records. Earth, home of humans. Approach with respect and peaceful intentions. Warning: this species appears primitive, but possesses advanced defensive capabilities and unparalleled adaptability. Hostile actions strongly discouraged. The humans had earned their place among the stars, not through conquest, but by standing firm against those who would conquer them. Humanity's warning to the galaxy would be remembered for generations to come.